undoubtedly, these have been a tough set of local elections, but as was also said, they are predominantly in rural areas that traditionally favoured the Tories, and there have been a lot of local factors to play in areas like...
Well, you get that with local elections, wouldn't you, Mr Gwynne?
You do get that with local elections, but undoubtedly also, and you can't ignore the elephant in the room, Brexit played a part in the results because this was the first opportunity that people have had to vote in any election since Article 50 was delayed. And, I get that sense of frustration. I've heard it on the doorstep.
What are you doing about it, Mr Gwynne?
Across England? Well, what we're doing about it is that, we've entered into negotiations with the government in good faith to try and secure some kind of consensus that Parliament can coalesce around. But I understand the voters' frustration, and this has been the first opportunity that people have had to be able to express that. But I just do want to take issue a little bit about not making progress for the general election, because actually when you drill down and look at the results...
Oh my God, what am I going to hear now?
Well, hold on. We have picked up seats in Basildon, in Southend, in Stevenage.
Mr. Gwynne,
we've got the largest Labour group in Medway
Mr.
for 20
Gwynne,
years.
which is more, Mr. Gwynne, which is more embarrassing? The fact that where Jeremy Corbyn launched the party campaign in Stoke, you've lost seats to the Conservatives, or you've lost control of Bolsover, which you've had for half a century. Which would you describe as more embarrassing?
Well, there have been trends in...
So for every Basildon, there's a Bolsover, isn't there? Let's be honest.
There is, and there is a specific issue that... Look, there's been a long-term trend in some of those East Midlands seats where traditional Labour voters have been moving away from us, and we saw that in the 2017 general election when we lost Stoke and Mansfield, and that's going to take some time to rebuild the trust in those communities. I get that, and that isn't going to be fixed overnight.
You talk about overnight. I'm sorry to talk over you, Andrew, but we talk about overnight. I fear that your party top brass was rather disconnected from what was happening. Here's John McDonnell speaking to our political editor, Theo Usherwood.
I'm aiming for sort of about 400 if we can, but as I say, I'm always really cautious about local election results. You can never tell. 400
gains. You're at 85 losses. You're completely out of touch, your party.
Look, I've acknowledged that...
But that's the Shadow Chancellor, for God's sake, if he can't get the numbers right.
These have been a tough set of elections, and what we've got to do is we've got to take stock of the message that voters have given to both of the main parties tonight. Now, not all the results are in, and, there's still a lot of results to be counted today, and they will come in throughout the day.
Yes.
But look, for every Labour candidate that has lost... I'm sorry, because those communities need a strong Labour voice.